I was in prison and lost contact with my girlfriend. It's been more than 10 years since we last saw each other. Would it be wrong to reach out to her again? I'm 35. When I was in university, I fell in love with Sarah. She's 33 now. She was the younger sister of my best friend, so she was off limits for me. But my feelings didn't go away. They only grew stronger. She's one of those beautiful, intelligent people who live and breathe to make the world a better place. How could I not fall in love? One day, she told me she had feelings for me too. And to my relief, her brother didn't mind us dating. Sarah was my girlfriend for 2 whole years, 2 beautiful years. I should have proposed. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I thought we had our whole lives ahead of us. We were young. There was no rush. We lived in a country that, to put it mildly, wasn't very democratic, and we were involved in political activism. Eventually, I was arrested and sentenced to 9 years. Please don't think of me as some kind of monster. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to be identified. But we didn't hurt anyone or do anything immoral. What I was imprisoned for wouldn't even be considered a crime in the country where I live now. I haven't seen or spoken to Sarah since the day I was arrested. My best friend passed away not long after. And Sarah left the country, partly because she was also at risk of arrest. Contacting me while I was inside was impossible, although I heard she did reach out to my father a couple of times early on. Things only got worse in our country while I was in prison. So when I got out, my father and I emigrated. We've been living in Western Europe since then, and life is generally okay. I live with my dad and work a stable, though crappy job. A few months ago, I found Sarah online. She lives in a neighboring country, about 7 hours away by train. She's barely on social media, but it doesn't seem like she has a partner or children. And even if she's married, I'd be happy just to be her friend again, like in the early days. Part of me desperately wants to write to her, and my father also thinks I should try. But I'm afraid it would be too selfish. Her brother's death was a huge trauma for her, and I fear I'm just a living reminder of everything bad that happened. And if she does have a partner, would she be upset by my message? Would I ruin their relationship? I don't want to hurt her even more. Time stopped for me in prison, but I know that life moved on for her, like it did for everyone else. She made it. She built new life. I don't want to ruin it just because I feel entitled to a place in it. Maybe she doesn't even remember me, and even if she wants me back in her life, I'd only be a burden now. With all my mental baggage, we haven't seen each other for -1 as long as we were together. Do I even have the right to miss her like this? For now, all I do is occasionally Google her name just to make sure she's okay. It hurts so much, and I don't know how to make it stop. I still love her with all my heart, and probably always will. Should I write to her, or leave her alone? And if I do write, what do I even say? First update. I reached out to her, and she replied, "First of all, I want to thank everyone who gave advice or just wrote kind words. I was so ashamed of my situation for so long and expected most people would react very negatively if they found out. I barely talked about it with anyone, only with my father and the professionals who were helping me, lawyers, therapists, and so on. I was truly surprised to receive so much empathy from complete strangers. Thank you, really. A few people asked me to share how it went, and it's the least I can do in return." I wrote to Sarah that same evening after posting. I said something like, "I don't want to intrude on your life. I just wanted to say hello and leave you my new contact info in case you ever want to get in touch. If not, that's totally okay too." I left my phone number and email, wished her well, and that was it. I knew she might not reply right away, or at all, so I tried to put it out of my mind. Early the next morning, my phone rang, and a known number from the country where Sarah now lives. Who else could it be? I panicked a little but answered. She asked several times if it was really me, and I couldn't tell if she was laughing or crying. At first, she called me by a sweet version of my name, like she used to. Then she quickly apologized and corrected herself, which broke my heart a bit. The conversation was awkward, but not in a bad way. I was terribly nervous. She seemed to be too, but we were both happy. Someone in the comments had said Sarah would want to know if I was okay, and that turned out to be even more true than I imagined. In the last year of my sentence, unrest in our country worsened, and she feared they'd just quietly get rid of me instead of releasing me. There were documented cases of strange things happening to prisoners in similar situations shortly before their release, so her fear was very real. She also told me she'd tried several times to send me care packages and top up my account at the prison store, but her attempts were rejected without explanation. After my sentencing, I was banned from receiving mail or using the store at all, due to the article I was charged under. And she eventually stopped trying. She said this apologetically, as if I might be upset that she didn't do more. I had no idea she even tried, but I know it wasn't safe for her. I feel terrible that she put herself at risk just to try to make my life a little easier. She didn't seem to want to talk more about the past, so we didn't. We moved on to lighter topics: work, the cities we live in, how my father is adjusting to our new country, that sort of thing. When she got to work and had to end the call, she asked if I'd like to continue the conversation over Messenger. Of course, I agreed and installed the app right away. We chatted all day. And on her way home she even stopped to send me a picture of a restaurant decorated in the style of one of my favorite books they used, because she thought I'd like it. She said that every time she sees that building, she thinks of me, even though the restaurant itself, sadly, isn't very good. I was afraid she wouldn't remember me. But she remembers that I love to read. She remembers so many things, even ones I'd forgotten. Since then, we've been texting constantly and talking on the phone after my work, until she gets sleepy. Sometimes, it feels like I'm 24 again, and she's texting me from the next street over, about to ask what's for dinner. And sometimes, it feels like we're trying to revive past versions of ourselves, just to avoid admitting how much things have changed. She's much quieter and more reserved than she used to be. I guess that's no surprise. Sometimes I fear I've changed too much and there's nothing left in me for her to love. I can't even describe what I feel when I hear her laugh. She hasn't lost her kindness, her warmth, her compassion. She still cares, and so do I. I know that rebuilding our friendship after everything won't be easy, but I have plenty of patience, and I'm just glad I have a chance to get to know her again. This morning, Sarah asked if I'd like to video chat over the weekend. I said yes. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but even though I really want to see her, I'm very nervous. I've changed a lot in appearance and in general. I have jaw issues, and my teeth look like a hockey player's. Luckily, I'll have insurance soon and will be able to fix it. I lost a lot of weight and haven't gained it back. I see an old man in the mirror. I'm scared I'll get too emotional when I see her and embarrass myself. I'm not someone who's used to crying in front of people. I don't know how, and I don't think this is the best moment to start. I also don't want to seem pathetic or make her feel like she has to comfort me. If anyone has advice on how to handle this, I'd appreciate it. Overall, this week couldn't have gone better, and I'm unbelievably grateful to everyone who gave me the push I needed to write to her. Thank you 1,000 times. And yes, she doesn't have a husband or kids. Like I mentioned in the original post, I only reached out to her because I didn't see any signs on social media that she was with someone.